All right. You're alive.
But it's not time yet.
It's 2 minutes.
Well, 4 technically, but I'm not gonna argue with you. There's not gonna be any cheese left by the time people actually tune in. Like, they'll be just like the remnants of the cheese board.
That's terrible. You guys are awful.
What?
So, hey there, we're early. As opposed to us, oh look, is there somebody there? Or is that you just...
That's me.
I guess I should join in too.
I should. Ah, Ed's here!
Ed, I think you have something to do. Something else to do.
She doesn't want you to hear her play her competition score again.
I'm just...
Hi, Cabby!
Hey, Cabby! Good to see ya. Oh, wow, we got just like people.
I know, right?
You heard it, Ed?
It was nice. You did a good job.
Hi, Emily.
What do you say?
Oh, sure.
It's a nice solo. I sent him my things.
No, the link.
Yes.
This is very good.
Cool. We're going to eat and drink in front of you.
We've gotten fancy today, guys. We've got a cheese board and beer.
Well,
I
we
suppose.
went to get some different beers, and the store had cheese too. So.
Yep.
And it was before we got to the beer, so we had to stop and buy cheese also.
You guys, cheese is delicious.
So today, we're doing a slightly different format. Usually we'll play a tune. See, now it's 4 o'clock. We'll
That's
play...
2 minutes till, but that clock's fast.
Oh, well...
That chime is fast.
Okay.
For those of you that can't hear it, we have a clock that plays bagpipes every hour
We
on
do.
the hour because, of course, we do.
Because, Steve. So anyway, we spent last weekend, actually starting Friday at noon, participating in our first virtual bagpipe and drum solo competition. Obviously, because of the quarantines, that has messed up a lot of things in a lot of people's daily lives. For us, one of the things that's messed up, besides Renaissance festivals, is our solo competitions. We usually travel to whatever competitions we can reach in a weekend, which around here, that's not many. But because the quarantine means no public gatherings and festivals and things, the Eastern United States Pipe Band Association and probably the other pipe band associations have decided to make virtual competition okay, which means we can compete in one in Ohio without ever having to leave our house.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fairly intense process. The way it worked is we had from noon Friday to noon today to record and submit our events. Now, it's nice if you're recording and then you make a mistake and then you can record again. The trick comes, when do you stop?
Rarely ever do you play an entire tune without at least one mistake.
Exactly.
And you're like, oh, well, it was such a small mistake. I can fix that easy. And then you fix that one, but you make another one
Right.
later on.
So what happened is we kind of had to schedule things because they both had solo events.
Mm-hmm.
As a drummer, I needed a piper to accompany me.
She's so needy.
I'm so needy. So the way we worked it is they spent the mornings working on their events. And then in the afternoon, one of them would play for me. I had Steve play for both of my bass solo events and Jillian played for my snare.
Which
So-
you will be seeing today.
Yay. So yes, that's what we're doing today. We're going to give you an idea. We're going to show you what we played. Well, one each.
Yes. Because I entered 6 different events. Y'all don't need all that.
Nope.
I only entered 3. She only entered 3.
We don't need all that either.
I'm the overachiever.
Huh.
Well, Dad and I were talking earlier, and I said, what should we start with? And he said, your Strats Bay Reel. So should I play some music for these people?
Sure.
Play your Strats Bay Reel for these people.
Should
I'm gonna
we
eat
should
cheese.
we talk a little bit about that event?
Yeah, sure. So the Strats Bay Reel event it consists of 2 different types of tunes, a Strats Bay and a reel.
They're both dance tunes.
They are. The Strats Bay, you'll see people doing the Highland Flame too, like the stereotypical Scottish dance. And it basically...
Trivia. on that one.
Yes, go with your trivia.
The Strathspey is a dance that I just read this. So I haven't verified it, but it was an interesting tidbit, even if it's not true. It's a dance that originated around and near the River Spey. So, Strathspey.
The only requirements really are that each tune has to be 4 parts. We've talked a little bit about music parts in our past videos. And that's pretty much how you pick your tunes. I got mine. I don't know the history of them. I was lazy and didn't look it up. But my tunes are Maggie Cameron and Jock Wilson's Ball. And Maggie Cameron was given to me by one of my old teachers, Patrick Regan. And he gave it to me and said, "This is a really hard tune. Play this tune and you'll prove that you belong in a higher grade." So I said, challenge accepted. He was not lying. It is a hard tune, but it's also a really cool tune. And then Jock Wilson's Ball, I learned because I needed a reel to go with my Strathspey, and the one that Patrick gave me was kicking my ass, to be perfectly frank. And so I learned Jock Wilson's Ball because it used to be his tune, and I know all of his competition tunes by heart because he plays them a lot, and I learned by ear. So it drives him insane, which makes it that much more fun.
A lot of you have heard me say that I work for 6 months, 8 months, sometimes a year, working on a tune, getting it right. And then I'll play it somewhere, and this one will come up and just kind of cock her head and crank her pipes and play the damn tune better than I do. She's never seen the music.
Nope. I actually had to look at the music for Jock Wilson's Ball, though, because, they will gig you if you miss a grace note. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play you my tunes.
Oh, I have to say hi to my cousin Stuart.
Hi,
Hey,
Stuart.
He wants to hear some Kiss.
Kiss.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Mwah! You will be able to tell when the tune changes because I will be speeding up. That is how this works.
That's the tricky part of it. You're going from one type of tune to another.
Right.
Drummers hate that stuff.
Thank you. It's one of many. I'm thinking about it. I should have just worn all of them at once. About the time that all this started happening, like the pandemic and whatnot, was about the time that I was like, I'm going to be a serious competitor. So I bought like 3 new ties and 2 new French cuff shirts and like 8 pairs of cufflinks. And now I'm not going anywhere.
Don't forget the shirts.
I said 2 new French cuff shirts.
That's right. Oh, you did. That's right.
Okay.
So we have a pirate out there. Hi, Craig. saying obnoxious things. That's
Craig,
a
no.
snare. I have to show people my snare.
Oh,
You're
Craig.
watching. So who's going next?
Oh, are we just going to play it before we talk?
No, but I mean,
We can do that.
no. But if you're going next, you're talking, and if I'm going next, I'm talking.
Well, you're going next then.
Oh, okay. Should we
I
discuss
just
what
sat
we're
down.
I
Should
know
we
you did.
discuss what we're drinking?
Sure.
We could.
What are you drinking? Steve?
I am drinking Innocent Guns aged in whiskey cask, Scotch cask.
There's a shocker.
Yeah, it's a shocker that I like something
It's
like that. isn't it?
almost gone.
We've been on for less than
Uh,
10 minutes.
I've got 3 more in the refrigerator.
Thank goodness. Yeah, Innocent Gun.
Innocent
4
Guns.
bucks.
It's expensive for a 4-pack, but every now and then it's worth it to treat yourself.
Exactly, treat yourself. You don't even. There's a reference, and if you watch Parks and Recreation, you would understand by now. Anyway,
Treat yourself.
yes, it's a thing. Like
Oh.
it's treat yourself day. Whenever, like, where 2 of the characters go out and they just buy everything that they want because you got to treat yourself.
Yeah,
It's awesome. It's like once
sounds
a
like
year.
a great idea to me.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, they brought in a third person. He wound up buying like a completely movie accurate Batman costume. That was his treating himself.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know a lot of
because
people
why
like
not?
that.
Yeah.
Richard Montag comes to
I
mind.
gave mine away.
Oh, yeah. You didn't need it anymore. I am drinking a daydreaming wit beer from Perennial Artisanal.
Artisanal.
It doesn't actually say artisanal.
Oh.
Artisan. Artisanals.
There it is.
I'm drinking
Artisan.
beer.
Artisan.
It's a wit beer. I know how to read things.
I just tasted that. That was delicious.
Demiana?
I haven't tasted
Oh
it.
my god. Hi, Demiana. Thanks for tuning in. I haven't talked to you in forever. She was one of the volunteers at Lubbock Lake
Nice.
Landmark. She's
Nice.
Oh. that's
She's
good.
probably never seen you not covered in sweat.
great. Bring that back. Could you drink all your beer? Doesn't mean I can't. You can have mine.
You're about to play again.
I don't care. Why don't you drink it?
I am drinking Garden Party, which is a green and white tea packaged by Driftwood Tea Company in Newport Richey, Florida. Beer.
Some people just have to be different.
Beer. It's beer. I'm totally drinking beer.
Just have to
I
be
get
different.
a
Tabby's trying to help you pronounce it.
Thank you, Gabby. No, I get a tea subscription box that a friend of mine got me. Like, she got me 3 months for free for my birthday, like last year.
Beer.
Yes, totally. But I get four new ones every month. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess we're gonna play your thing now.
Well, sure. I guess I have just a little background. So I'm playing snare drum, which is a new drum for me. Newish. I've been studying it for a couple of years, but you know, these things take time, especially when you're not 10 years old. Anyway, the tune that I'll be accompanying is called King George V Army. I'm not really going to tell you much about King George V or his army, other than he was Elizabeth II's grandfather.
Do you know he kept his armies, right?
Where?
Up his sleeves.
Up his what?
Sleeveys. He kept his armies in his sleeveys. My work here is done.
Ed, there's one for your
No.
bad dad joke.
So, the tune King George Army V was written by all of the people that we're playing tunes by. Most of them are really well known. It's one of the greats. You're going to hear that a lot. This guy was born in 1883, died in 1927. George Stewart McLennan. He was a pipe major of the Gordon Highlanders, a prolific composer. The tune I'm accompanying is a very popular one. He got gold medals in a couple of the really big competitions, Oban, Inverness, in 1904 and 1905. He's got a book, Highland Bagpipe Music, that was published posthumously. Anyway, when he died, there were more than 20,000 people lining his funeral round. I mean, this guy,
Good Lord.
right? From his home to the station in Aberdeen. Anyway, I will be playing
Wait,
a
is that the
setting.
composer or King George?
That's the composer.
The composer had 20,000 people.
That's the
Okay.
composer. The setting I learned recently in a competition when I went up to play, and the judge says, "And what is the setting?" And I said, "What?" He said, "Who wrote the drum score?" So that's what that means. The setting is by Ed Best, who is my drum instructor. He lives in California. Thank goodness for Skype. And that was dumb. There we go.
I was wondering about
Huh?
that. I was wondering when I saw you do it.
I worked around it.
All right.
So, all right, give me a second to hook this puppy up. I only played this song 40 times over the last 3 days. I should probably remember it.
We hope so. I mean, Ed is watching.
Anyone who has not ever heard Scottish snare before, you should know that as snare drums go, it's a pretty loud one. It's got snares on the top and the bottom, and it's loud. Kind of like a Uzi. So, all right then, shall we? Yeah, let's do this thing.
Ready?
Nope.
Right? March. incorporate this drum into our Renaissance Festival show a lot more because it's really cool.
It is. I just have to get more comfortable with it. As it is, if I don't close my eyes and I look off in the corner and see Steve making a face at Jillian, I lose my place in the tune. So.
Oh, he was doing more than making a face. He was drinking my damn beer.
Oh.
He was drinking your tea too.
You trash.
Yep.
I can't believe you did that. So yes.
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
You
I
believe
can
it.
totally believe that. Totally believe that.
What cheese are we eating, Jillian?
Well, it's made of milk.
Made of
Milk is good.
So this one over here is a
Warm in here.
burning melange. It's cow milk cheese. It's a Gouda with spices and herbs, basically.
Okay.
And it's really, really good. And then that is a blue cheese, which is one of Steve's favorites. We actually have several more in the fridge. We just knew that if we brought them all out right now, then we would eat them all right now, as you can see by how quickly these are disappearing. Aw, see, Ed clapped for you.
He did. I'm gonna give him a heart.
Y'all got some hard stuff
Mhm.
going.
Oh.
And hi, Kitty. Happy birthday, belated.
Happy belated
Happy
birthday,
birthday.
Kitty!
And Lynette is noting that just in case we
Oh, we're
didn't
not
notice that Steve was drinking from both of our cups.
Yes, I was.
And Lynette saw you.
Oh, yes.
Thank you for having our backs, Lynette. We appreciate it.
I'll do it again.
By the way, Kitty, while we have you here, we would both be doing this, but we're not in tune
With each other.
with each other. We're in tune with ourselves, but we didn't tune with each other.
Oh, earplugs.
But we want this is from all of us.
Yes, it is.
It was Kitty's birthday on the 18th, I believe. It was Kitty's birthday recently, and she's used to having a big old party.
Saturday, I think.
And she can't have a big old party this year for obvious reasons. So we sent her an obnoxious number of cards.
Amazing stuff. Did you see the menu?
No, I didn't.
Oh, God. It was awesome because, he's
Everything that Red Steve cooks is
Yes.
just incredible.
All
right.
So,
I think I played enough.
I think Kitty and Red Steve are the only two people in the world that have never seen me live in anything other than a kilt.
Yep.
well, kilts are important.
Kilts are important.
We wore our kilts. It was warm this weekend.
Oh,
and
God, was it?
it was very sweaty.
Yeah, we had, kilts, hose, long sleeve shirts, vests, ties, hats.
Mhm.
We briefly considered actually dressing in our competition wear for this video, and then we were like, no.
No.
I'm just wearing my tie because I like it.
It's a very 80s
I like my
thing.
tie, too.
You're not wearing your tie, though.
I don't know.
I like my ties. My ties are good. They're almost as good as this beer.
Oh, Lord.
They have those at Kitty's parties.
Uh-huh. Yes, they do.
Because it's a tiki party.
Yeah, that was great last year.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Lazy ass. Go play your competition tunes.
Oh, all right. Well, so what one should I play? Should I play the 2-4 March?
The one that you know a history for.
Oh, I know the history on two of them, Martha Big No and my P-Rock.
Oh.
We don't do a lot of P-Rock here, so I kind of think we should do some P-Rock.
All right, I'll play the P-Rock. The P-Rock is called Lament for Donald of Lagan.
Get comfortable.
Yeah, well, I'm only going to play the ground. I'm not going to play
Oh.
all the variations because it's 10 minutes long.
So maybe you should play the first variation with the ground so they can see how it.
All right,
it
yeah,
works.
I'll play the ground in one variation.
But explain first what's going on.
But Lament for Donald of Lagan. Lagan, whatever his title was, Earl of Lagan, whatever he was. Notice that I drank all of mine, so y'all couldn't have any more. Lagan was, back in those days, in the 1600s, the man would go out and make his fortune and then come back and take the young bride. And Lagan went out and made his fortune and came back as a late 30s, early 40s man and took the young bride. And she fell madly in love with him, and then he promptly died. So she commissioned what is thought by some historians to be a McCrimmon tune. She commissioned one of the McCrimmons to write a lament for her dearly departed husband, Donald of Lagan. It is said that she had the tune played every night for the rest of her life. I have heard it said, although I don't know how true it is, that she outlived 5 pipers. So, Lament for Donald of Lagan, coming up.
So we were saying something about the first part and the second part.
Variations.
So a P-Rock,
Well, that's true.
the first part, it's better to have a non-piper describe this. than me.
Okay, go for it.
The first part is a simple, we call it the ground, and it's a simple tune. Then every time there's a new part, they add notes to that basic tune. So for example, if you were playing Twinkle Little Star, the first part would be dun 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 dun. Then on the second part, it would be and by the time you finish the thing with the Crinlor movement, you will probably have am I wrong?
That's a pretty good description from a layman's point of view as to how it goes. Yeah.
So what he's gonna do is play like he said, these tunes are long. The longest one we know of lasts 25 minutes.
Yeah.
This one's about 10 minutes. which is tricky in competition because you can get 2/3 of the way through it and then something can happen.
Yep.
That was very frustrating in recording because we would get all the way to the Crinlore movement, which is the last bit, and you're like, yeah, I've got, 5 measures left and then I'm done. And then you just flub something horribly. Or you're a kid at the Stone Mountain Highland Games and you're in the middle of your P-Rock and your chanter isn't in right and you pull it out in the middle of your tune, which makes a breakdown, which means you're disqualified from that event. And then the judge takes pity on you, lets you finish the tune so you can get your comments at least, and then says something like, oh, it's a shame about that breakdown because otherwise that was one of the best P-Rocks I've heard today.
You're not going to hear a lot of P-Rock in just regular, unless you're in a bagpiping community. It's the first time I heard of P-Rock, I thought the piper was just a terrible piper.
I did too.
That was you, EJ.
EJ Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not EJ.
And he was like grade 1 at the time.
He was standing on the gates at Texas Renaissance Festival playing.
One of the best pipers I know.
He's an excellent piper.
Oh, he was then too.
Yes, and
But we
I
didn't
said
understand
something
P-Rock.
like, right, so if you don't, trust me, it's a whole different type of listening.
It's nothing like what you think of Oriental music versus Rolling Stones. Okay, it's that different. So if you don't like it,
and remember, he's only playing the first 2 parts, which means you don't have to hear all that I have to hear when he's practicing.
gives you an idea of what it is. I went from the first variation singling to the last variation doubling, which is called a crunlor.
And that all that blippy stuff
Yeah,
was.
there's I think 8 or 9 notes in that. I can't remember offhand.
1, 2.
No, don't forget the D grace note. But anyway, it takes a little bit of time to learn those skills.
Yeah.
William asks if it is true that you're supposed to keep moving when you're competing.
Yes and no.
Correct. It depends entirely on what you're competing in. For example, in a march, you have to march.
Yeah.
And everybody's got a different style of march. I mean, it's interesting to watch, but it's definitely a march, and you go back and forth in front of the judge. In a dance tune.
Yeah, so the Strasbourg reel that I played, you don't march on that. It's not a good marching tune, so you stand still facing the judge and you just tap your foot while you play.
But you have to tap your foot. And then in a Pibroch, you're supposed to
meander.
Yes, it's a very interesting.
I have watched a lot of professional Pibroch players, and where most of the lower grades will just kind of walk around in a figure 8 very slow. The professional Pibroch players they'll start the tune and they'll do with one foot out, and they'll slowly move up and take another step.
It's like a weird dance.
And
Yeah,
sometimes,
like they're trying to do a tightrope over Niagara Falls.
You can't see it here, but it's like the foot. You know, they'll do this weird little ballet thing.
Let's fix that.
Okay, let's see if I can do that or not. But they'll take this thing
Jillian
and they'll go like that.
Yeah, it's really strange how they place their feet.
Yeah, it's interesting to say.
I think it's a balance issue.
Maybe.
I think they're trying to balance better.
Maybe, but
I haven't felt it necessary to do that.
So yes, it is true. There are certain things you're supposed to do when you're competing. I am not sure about drumming, because I've never seen other. I think drummers just stand still. I don't think we're required to do anything in particular.
They bounce a little bit sometimes, but it's not required.
Especially if they were pole dancers in a former life.
Oh hush. So the things that judges look for, it depends on the grade level you're playing. When you're in grade 4, which is a beginning level, the main thing they're looking for is that you have control. That they're watching to see if you can control the pipes.
Can you make it all the way through a tune?
Yes.
Pretty much.
And can you get a general, are you playing all of the things basically right? Do you have an understanding of what a D throw is, an understanding of that kind of thing? Then,
Listen to her talking about pipes.
I know,
well,
right?
I'm around it all the time.
It's almost like she's lived with them for,
Then as you move up, they start looking less, they're going to assume once you get out of grade 4 that you can control the pipes.
Now, they will still absolutely gig you if you can't.
Right. But at grade 3 and up, they're looking for clean technique, and they're looking for musicality and interpretation. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because Steve and Jillian are both playing the same Pibroch. And they are, every time I hear one of them play it, the other one's standing out with me going, I don't like the way they play that.
That's wrong. That's just wrong.
Because it's so different.
We've got 2 different teachers from 2 different countries.
Right.
And one is last, the last generation's, top piper, and Jillian's is this generation's top piper.
And both versions of the tune, like both interpretations, are valid.
Yeah, they're both correct.
The thing about Pibroch, and about a lot of interpretation actually, is that you will get some judges that really like something played one way, and if you don't play it that way, no matter if it's a correct interpretation or not, they will not like you as much because you're not playing it in the way that they like.
Yep.
Now, really good judges can get over themselves.
Yes.
But every now and then you get one that's just, they feel very, very strongly about how a tune should be interpreted.
Another interesting thing is when we play in public performance, marches, jigs, reels, I drum along. It's or if you're in a pipe band setting, same thing. If you're playing marches, there's a certain straightness to it, even though there's a kind of a rocking, there's a jazz feel, but still it's metered differently. But in solo competition, I can't really play drum along with Steve's solo tunes or Jillian's solo tunes because the feel of a solo tune, even if it's a march, is completely different.
So like the tune that I'm working on right now that I didn't compete with yet because it's not up to scratch yet. I'm gonna very much over exaggerate the differences, but played in a pipe band setting, it would be something like bum bum ba-dum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum ba-dum ba-dum ba-da-da-da-dum bum bum bum. Very, very over exaggerated. What I'm supposed to be aiming for as a solo competitor is bum bum ba-dum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum ba-dum 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 ba-da-dum bum bum bum. So like I'm supposed to be holding in very specific parts and then cutting the next note shorter. Now it's obviously not that exaggerated because that sounds weird, but there is a technique to it. Speaking of technique, Craig is complaining at how technical we're being. The hell, man?
We just finished a competition
Craig.
weekend.
This has been our life for the past 3 days.
Read between the lines, man.
Thank you, Cabby. Cabby likes the technical days.
Yay, we love Cabby.
See, Cabby likes what we do.
Yes. So, and William, yes, Steve did want to move more.
Yes.
But there really isn't that much room.
Yeah, there's not much room. When we were recording our competition, if you Google HV.
Oh gosh, yeah,
We can share them. We'll share them.
Yeah, okay, we'll share it. Yeah, it's the Hudson Valley
Piping and drumming solo championships
of 2020, and a lot of them are public, so you can see
on
them.
YouTube.
Mine and Pam's and Morgan's are public, and a lot of other competitors made theirs public.
Mine will
too.
be public once I get my results back.
If she wins anything, otherwise she'll be embarrassed. She won't publish
I mean,
it.
he's messing with me, but yeah, that's absolutely true. And Craig, of course we're going to drag you into our private hell. What is the point of being a band and doing a live stream if we can't drag y'all into our misery?
It's because
Or our triumph. This is actually our triumph. We survived. We did
Yes.
it.
We did, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we won anything, but you know.
It's okay.
But,
We
but-
won
but-
We want to
everything.
do the other
But
ones. too.
the point was accomplished. We practiced like sons of bitches all weekend long.
And daughters.
My thumb, I have a big old callus on my thumb. It hurts
He does.
so bad right now. You know, Friday and Saturday, I gripped my chanter too tight because I haven't played for
What
regularly
is it
for
you
a long
tell
time.
your students about how to hold a chanter?
Oh yeah, all the time. But then on Sunday, I couldn't hold it too tight because my thumb hurt too much.
There you go.
And that's when the 3 pieces that I actually turned in were recorded. All 3 of them were on Sunday. Can't tell you how many times I played them. So Ed, you were right. You know, in that they will play those tunes 100 times because they hear one little mistake and they'll do it again. And that's exactly what we did.
The way that this competition worked, for anybody that's wondering how you do a virtual bagpipe competition, you have 3 days to record your tune and submit it, or like upload it to YouTube, and then send in the link on like their special submitting form. And yes, you can do as many takes as you want to, which is
Exhausting.
yeah.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
It's like we've mentioned a couple times. You hear one little mistake. Oh, I can
Yes,
fix
yeah.
that. And you go and fix that, and then you've made 3 other mistakes. And then by the time the day is done, you're tired. And so now you're making 20 mistakes just to fix the one.
So we either need to wrap this up, or I need to get another beer.
We should
We
wrap
need to
this
wrap it
up.
up
Do we need
because
to
I've
play
got-
something silly for Craig real quick?
I've got a bagpipe lesson coming. I could play, well, I don't know. We're not in tune with each other.
That's true.
I could play my march.
No, I was
Really
just gonna.
silly.
I was gonna do something ridiculous because Craig deserves it. He deserves ridiculous.
Okay?
What
Do
do I
something
do?
ridiculous.
There's nothing ridiculous?
You
Oh.
could play a really, really old tune from the Stone Ages.
That's true. The Bilge Funks don't get to our show much, do they?
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
they don't.
I can just like play like the first. I can just like play Pumpkin Fancy or something right after that, just so
Yeah.
it's not
You
all
don't
that.
have to. I mean,
All right, Craig, this one's for you.
we're gonna play the oldest bagpipe tune known to man.
It's from a very long time ago.
Time ago.
using my chanter here. Do you see this? You see that? Yeah.
Okay, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Next week we'll probably be back to trying to revisit some Wee Beastie tunes.
Yep.
Or heaven knows what we're going to do.
If you guys have suggestions, please let us know, as always,
We
because...
appreciate your comments and your questions. William, you're especially good at questions.
He really is.
Yeah, you're awesome. He's paying attention. Alrighty. Till then, enjoy everything. You know, check us out. We're going to be posting some links.
Yeah, if you want to see, like, our actual competition videos, we'll probably be throwing a couple of them up.
They're, okay, I mean, they're,
Mine and Jillian's are filmed right here in front of the
Yeah,
crowd.
you'll recognize it.
Mine is in the backyard.
We moved everything off to the side.
And we have to do a very, like, serious introduction so they know we're not just using old recordings. So they all start with, my name is Jillian Brownlee. This is the Grade 3-2-4 March for the Hudson Valley Piping and Drumming Solo Championships 2020. I am competitor number 13. I will be playing the Rhodesian Regiment, and it is currently July 20th at 4:40 p.m. Yeah, and so on. So it's...
She really was competitor number 13.
I actually was competitor number 13, yeah.
I was 11.
12.
Morgan was 10.
Yeah. So anyway.
All right. Thank you for tuning in. Have a lovely Monday, and we'll see you next week.